While reviewing your drawings, I have been seeing a lot of students making this common mistake in perspective drawings. And this can really reduce your chances of selection. Hi future designers, I'm Palak Khanna and you are watching me on The Design Ladder, a stepway to your dream design college. In this video, we are going to talk about a very important topic, yet a little difficult topic where all of you are facing problem, I know, and that is perspective drawings. And today we'll learn it in a very simple and easy way. Why you guys are facing difficulty? Because you guys try to directly jump onto drawing these perspectives from a random YouTube video or other sources before working or understanding the fundamentals of the perspective drawing. But I don't want you to make this mistake, because cramming to draw perspective is not going to help you with any new question in the exam, because new questions are asked each year. So I want you to really understand the basics first so that you are able to make correct and awesome perspective drawings in the exam from your own imagination, using your strength, using the fundamentals of perspective. So let's quickly get started. So let's first understand, what do you mean by the word perspective? So in day-to-day life, we usually use these phrases like, in my perspective, this thing isn't good, or मेरे perspective से ये चीज़ बिल्कुल सही है, or everybody has their own perspective, you know. So we can say that in a layman's language, perspective means way of thinking or viewing something. Similarly, it means exactly the same in drawings too. Perspective drawing means viewing or observing the things around us that are in 3D from a particular angle and then drawing them on a 2D surface or a flat surface like a piece of paper. Why are we calling the paper 2D? Because it just have two dimensions, that is length and breadth, whereas in the real world every object usually has length, breadth and height, hence 3D is used for that. Now first, let's look at some of the common observational behaviors of a human eye in viewing the world around us. The first thing we notice is the space that is near to our eyes appears bigger, and as it keeps on going further and away from our eyes, it starts to appear smaller. The same thing happens when we view any object also in real life. For example, let's look at this cube first. We can clearly see that the side of the cube that is away from our eyes appears shorter than the side which is directly in front of our eyes. Let's take another example. You can see although the height of these two humans is same, and our mind automatically perceives that the person who is looking shorter is at a far distance and the person who is looking larger is near to our eyes. Another thing that we notice is, whatever the actual size of object be, it always appears bigger or smaller in relevance to the objects it's surrounded with. If you draw a tree along with a house of this size, our eyes perceive that this tree is of a regular size. But if we draw the house very small in comparative to this tree, our eyes will perceive that this tree is quite a large tree. So we have noticed two concepts here. How our eyes sees a same size of the thing differently depending on how far or near the thing is, and relativity of that thing to its surroundings. So simply we need to apply the same principles onto a piece of paper when drawing these real life objects or situations. So it is clearly visible how making things in perspective helps drawing look more realistic, as it gives illusion of depth, gives us more information about which things are far and which are near, and overall makes it a very interesting realistic composition. Now moving forward, let's see what are other things that we observe in real life perspectives. We observe that as things go far from us and keeps appearing smaller and smaller, in the end they get shrunk to a mere dot size. And this point where all the lines are converging to and disappearing and vanishing is called a vanishing point. Simple. And this is the point usually from where we begin drawing our perspective drawings on a sheet of paper. Now the question arises, while drawing any scene in perspective from our imagination, how and where to locate this vanishing point on the sheet? Does it always need to be in the center of the paper, or it can be taken anywhere else? Or is there a logic behind taking it at a particular point? So answer is yes, there is definitely a logic. So the rule number 1 is that the vanishing point is always located directly in front of the eye level of the viewer. Eye level means the level of your eyes or the height of your eyes above the ground, that is approximately equal to your own height. If a person of this height is viewing this scene, to him things will appear to vanish at this point. Or if the person of this height is viewing the same scene, the things will appear to vanish at this point for him. So in other words, we can say that vanishing point gives us the idea of where the scene is being viewed from, or where the person viewing the scene will exactly be sitting or standing. This is the most important thing to know before beginning with any kind of perspective drawing in the exam. The questions in the exam are sometimes too detailed. A lot of information is given to you in the question itself, regarding the position of the viewer, the environment around the viewer, what things the viewer is able to see, and hence you have to frame the scene according to the information provided in that question. So now you know that you will take the vanishing point exactly in front of the eye level of the viewer wherever you are imagining or the question is demanding it to be. Second step is to place the horizon line on it. Now what is this horizon line? Now if we draw a line crossing this vanishing point from one side of the paper to another, this imaginary line is called a horizon line. That means the vanishing point will always be on the horizon line. And this line can also be called the eye level line because the vanishing point is always directly in front of the eye level of the viewer, as we just discussed. But why do we need this imaginary line? Because this guides us regarding the placement of the objects. So anything or any object above this horizon line will be termed as above the eye level. Anything below this line would be termed as below the eye level object. Why is it important to know whether the object is above or below the eye level? Because this will define its final shape in the perspective. Let's take an example of this cube again. If this is kept exactly in front of the viewer eyes, exactly on the horizon line, you'll only see one complete full face of it and nothing else. As you keep on moving this above the eye level, you will see that slowly the base of the cube is starting to get visible, and it gets more and more visible as you go higher up, and the top of the cube isn't visible to you at all. So if you want to draw this cube in perspective at this point, it will be something like this, showing only its front and the base. Now if you slowly bring this cube below the eye level, you will see that the top of this cube is slowly getting more and more visible, and you cannot see the base of the cube at all. So its drawing would be something like this, where only the front and the top is visible. Now see the difference between both of these drawings, although it's the same cube. Similarly, the drawing would be different for the same object if kept above the eye level or if kept below the eye level. This is where a lot of students get confused and make wrong perspective drawings for the things in the scene, like an air conditioner which is hanging on the wall, or an overhead bridge, or a train running on the metro bridge. What surface of the object would be visible to us and what would be not? They don't analyze it correctly, and then they don't understand why their drawings are looking weird or unrealistic. So now we've clearly understood what is perspective, why do we need to use it in our drawings, and the important terms we need to know before beginning, and the basic fundamentals on which it works in a detailed way. Now we are in a position to step up and understand how to exactly draw these perspective drawings. So to learn that, it becomes very essential to know the different kinds of perspectives first. Because without knowing that, you won't know which perspective technique to apply on what kind of situation or object. So from the exam point of view, you basically need to know three kinds of perspectives: 1-point perspective, 2-point perspective, and 3-point perspective. What are these three types of perspective? Why do we actually need to understand? Can a same object be in 1-point, 2-point, or 3-point perspective at the same time? All the confusions, all the doubts regarding it, I'm going to explain you in a very simple and interesting way in this video, that is part 2 of this perspective masterclass series. Go check the description box right now and see if you find the link of this video. By the time you're watching this video, I hope this video is out. So click on that link and I'll see you in that video. But if it says coming soon, then make sure you hit the bell notification button so that you immediately get the update as soon as that video is up on the channel. Also, I've done a very important informative video on how to score more in perspective drawings and make your drawings stand out of the rest in the exam. So go watch that video out. The link to this video is also given in the description box below. You can check it Also, if this video helped you to have a better understanding on this topic so far, please give it a like and let me know in the comment section right now how did you like it and what are other things you are facing difficulty with perspective drawing so that I can address to all those problems in the next video. So see you in part 2 of this video. All the very best. Bye bye.